In this segment, let's talk about management. So a lot of people would like to get promoted into management, but unfortunately, many managers do not know what management is about. It's a profession, so we need to obviously continuously keep on getting better in terms of the management functions and management responsibilities. So what is management? Well, one simple definition is that management is the process of achieving the company's goals with and through people, along with other available resources in the most efficient manner possible. So we're using organizational resources, which includes the human capital or the human resources, in order to achieve its goal and mission in a timely manner. We focus on efficiency as well as effectiveness. The functions of management tend to include planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, regardless of where a person might be managing. I would like for you to think about management similar to we think of fire. So fire can heat and keep you warm during winter times. Fire can be very useful for making food when there's no electricity. So fire has many useful uses. Think of management in the same way. Now, in order for fire to exist, you need to have at least 3 ingredients being present: oxygen, heat, and fuel. That's what is also known sometimes as the fire triangle. So what happens if you take away one of those 3 ingredients? What happens if you take the oxygen away, or the heat away, or the fuel away? Fire disappears. Fire can no longer survive. Fire can be extinguished. Well, in management, it's very similar. If you want to be a good manager and be perceived as an effective and efficient manager, you need to have technical skills, conceptual skills, and people or social skills. If you're not excellent or very good at, obviously, at a minimum level, all 3 of those levels, you will be perceived as an ineffective or a bad manager. So regardless of whether you're working as a middle level manager, as a lower level manager, or a senior manager, you need all 3 skills. However, the usage or the amount of usage might vary a little bit for conceptual and technical skills. So at the entry level supervision or management ranks, technical and human skills are very, very important. As a manager moves up the higher level ranks, conceptual skill becomes very important, but human skill continues to be important. So what does that mean? We need human skill when we're employee, when we're inter-level manager, middle manager, or even senior level manager. So human skill is used at all levels. However, the technical is used more at the lower level, and conceptual is used more at the higher levels. So how do you develop this? Well, for technical skill, which is the ability to perform well certain tasks that are required of your job, you just need to do them more often, keep on becoming more efficient at it, and that's technical ability. So if you want to be a nurse, if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a medical doctor, obviously you have to be technically very good at your job. Otherwise, people might get hurt. People skill, well, very important for the engineer, for the nurse, for the medical doctor, or for the pilot, or any other position, because oftentimes we're dealing with people beyond our jobs. So a medical doctor who is not very good, we're not going to go to him or her. But a medical doctor who is very good, well, he or she will obviously secondarily have to be able to communicate with us, the patient. Finally, we need conceptual skills, the ability to think critically and solve complex problems, and to be able to differentiate between symptoms versus the causes of a problem. So your conceptual skills develop more as you think more strategically long term, and as you obviously put out more fires, deal with day-to-day issues, as well as challenges that might force you to think differently, or even work on different markets to increase sales and so on. So what is your management skill scores on the technical, on the human, and on the conceptual? My suggestion is complete a survey that determines your management skill scores and then determine whether those scores actually align with your immediate and long-term career goals. If they are not what you expect, the good news is you can obviously prepare yourself over the next 6 months, over the next year, the next 2 years by having a degree or by doing things very differently. For example, most college classes will prepare you to deal with the technical skills a little bit, definitely the human skill, and most definitely the conceptual skills at senior level courses and at graduate programs. Somebody said that the only way to predict the future is to have the power to shape the future. So if you want to get promoted to the next level of management position or leadership, obviously prepare yourself. The more prepared you are, the more likely you're shaping your own career for the future. So for this, as I always emphasize, is you need to know what your profession would be. You need to know what you're going to excel at. In other words, determine your life's purpose. It can be a difficult question to say, what is my life purpose for most individuals around the globe? Why? Because most people do not have an identified purpose or goal that they have written down, that they have basically have absolute clarity that that's what they were meant to do in this world. So these individuals wander through life on autopilot. They basically do everything that other people expect of them and what society expects of them day to day, month after month, and year after year. However, sometimes that pays off. Sometimes, unfortunately, they're just wandering around, making enough money to get by. So discover your life's purpose. Here's a question I would like for you to think about. What would you love doing that if you work 7 days a week, 16, 17 hours per day, you would still have a smile on your face? You would be tired physically and mentally, but you would still be happy that you're doing it. Once you discover that task, that job, that responsibility, that's your life purpose. Go for it. Even though you may not have any training, any expertise in it, you can start learning. That's how you shape your future. Remember, you need to be a manager of your own life. Management is the process of using available resources to achieve a stated goal in the future by planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. You need to start managing yourself before you can manage others. When you're managing others, obviously, keep in mind that the management functions of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling are interrelated. The more you plan, the more likely you'll be better at obviously organizing, leading, and controlling the other tasks or during the process. So the more time you spend on planning, the less time you'll spend on rework or controlling and leading and organizing. So we need to do a good job on all four functions and become very good at it. Managers focus on organizational performance, which measures how efficiently and effectively they use companies' resources to satisfy customers and achieve the goals of the company. Efficiency is a measure of how well resources are used to achieve the stated goals of the department or the company. Effectiveness, on the other hand, is a measure of the appropriateness of the goals chosen for the company. In other words, effectiveness is about what you choose to do. Efficiency is about how fast or how efficiently you get them done. So efficiency is about managing. Effectiveness is about leadership. Effectiveness determines where we should go as that vision. Efficiency basically focuses on how fast we get there, how efficiently or how well we get there given the resources that we have. So again, keep in mind that there's interrelationship between the functions, and also there's interdependency among various stakeholders anytime you want to be working with other people, anytime you're depending on other people, anytime you're obviously linked to suppliers, customers, union members, government authorities, and so on. In this case, I encourage everybody to have a systems view. In other words, you're not alone, you're part of a chain. The systems approach to management is an approach based on the general systems theory. the theory that to understand fully the operation of any organization, any department, the entity must be viewed as a system or holistically. We need to understand the interdependence of the system's various parts, obviously, in order to serve them well, in order to work within that context as efficiently and as effectively as we can. So we need to understand the open management system where you take input from, obviously, the environment around you, you convert that into some kind of product, and then you sell the final service or outcome or product into the environment to anybody and everybody. So in a way, you're being influenced by anybody and everybody in an open system, or when you think holistically. An open system interacts with the environment in people, so therefore you must have good technical, human, and conceptual skills to be sustainable in leadership and management in the modern workplace. A systemic or holistic paradigm can help managers, obviously, to not only get to top management, but also to be a very effective top manager. So have a systems mindset or a paradigm shift that your success depends not just on your performance, but the performance of everybody in your department, everybody in your company, and obviously all the stakeholders must work together as part of a very efficient value chain. It can be done, and you obviously can do it. Good luck.